So 2 wrongs do not make a right, but 3 left turns make a right turn, so I'm hoping that if I pile enough bad decisions into one planting, I can make a good decision. We'll see. So this is Balsa, which is Ochroma pyramidale, and this is not the climate for it in any way. This is a plant of the lowland moist tropics. We are in the tropics, but we are not lowlands. We are a kilometre above sea level, slightly more than a kilometre. I think we're about 1.2 kilometres above sea level here. We have a prolonged dry season, which these do not like, and we get about 2/3 of the rainfall that this wants in its natural habitat. Now that does mean this potentially invasive species has a very low chance of becoming invasive. I'm not a fan usually of planting species which love to colonize disturbed areas, which this very much does. This is usually the sort of recovery species in its natural habitat. It moves in after a disaster, usually something like a wildfire or just a flood, has wiped out an area and created bare, hot, exposed soils. This moves in, this grows up incredibly fast and usually dies around the time it's 30. But in that period it creates a canopy which allows a lot of other forest trees to come up very, very quickly, and then it's gone and it's no longer competing, and its seeds stick around in the soil for a while in case another disaster comes through, and when they do, the cycle repeats itself. But because we are colder and drier and quite a long way away from any sort of surface water that could make it easier for this to get the water it needs, I'm hoping that this is one that will not escape cultivation. I'm hoping that this will be quite well contained, and where I'm putting it, it should form hopefully quite a quick canopy for a lot of smaller, slower growing fruit trees I've got around here. And if I can get that growing, not only do I get really quick canopies, I will also get, a high value product from that. So hopefully this will not be a bad idea. I am going to be putting it with a couple of succulents, which should hopefully fill out around here over the next few years and create a nice sort of fireproof barrier, because as much as this germinates really well after fire, the trees are incredibly sensitive to fire. So what we're going to be putting here is a Dracaena trifasciata, which is what a lot of people call Sansevieris trifasciata, and we are also going to be putting a piece of the Calico pinnata, which is one of the Madagascan very prolific calincos, which should fill out quite nicely. It should be quite happy in the shade. Both of these should be quite happy in the shade. This will create in the longer run, if this thrives, which at this time of year is very much an if, because we do get close to its sort of lower limit of temperature in winter. Although this has been atypically warm, it's still unpleasantly chilly as far as I'm concerned. For the second planting that is happening tonight, to make up for one of the days that I have missed, we are going to be doing a replanting. So this is in the site of one of the very few trees that I'm fairly sure wouldn't have died if I hadn't gone away. So this is where one of the little Sagres romanzophiana had been getting a little bit sunburned and had been suffering a little bit, but I was watering it up and it seemed like it might be pulling through. But then I went away and the entire thing is just toast. And unlike a phoenix, which can resprout from the base when it gets burned, the Sagres can't. It's a single stemmed palm. If the meristem is lost, the palm is lost. And so, as the meristem was just dust, and as the termites are already eating this, I'm going to be replacing this with something that some of our wildlife has actually planted in the pot of one of our sisals, which is a little Persea americana. Now this is an avocado, but which avocado I'm not sure. It's from a very small seed, so I suspect it's from one of the ones that we don't find particularly delightful. But if it comes up and the fruit is not of a decent quality, I will use this as a rootstock. I will graft a different avocado onto this, an avocado which does have a good quality fruit. So one way or another, this will be an avocado tree. And it's not getting any companion plants because it's going to be reusing the little Dracaena fragrans and the Alocameroni and the Calico fetchinkoi that went in with the original planting here. Right, so that should be everything for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope I haven't created a new invasive species here. We'll see. Please tune in again tomorrow. We won't know then whether the Balsa is taking over the world, but we'll be planting something different.